Okay then. So if we're ready, then we left off with the five of you minus Yhendorn having just returned to Karenwyn after your kind of contract in the swamp dealing with the hag. So you kind of get there evening time-ish. The camp is kind of dying down a bit. So you guys, you have your kind of bag of 100 gold for the guild that you need to return, and then probably about an hour or two before you'd probably hit the bed.
Okay. So do we go and see Quiniel to turn in the bounty?
Yes, it seems like the most sensible thing to do, unless you want to do one of those other quests that I'm sure you picked up.
Well, we could certainly head off once we've had a chance to catch up with Yhendorn and had a rest. But I think for now,
Oh yeah, Yhendorn.
we'll hand over the 50% and see what's been happening.
We should take this to the grouchy old librarian.
Yes. Okay, so we'll take the pouch of gold for the order. So, would we deliver it to a Quiniel, or is there like a treasurer?
You would know that you would kind of hand the coin directly over to the guild treasurer, who is the gnome you saw at your feast.
Whose name is Ron Van Felben.
Yep.
Brownie
so
points
he's the kind of person responsible for the guild's finances.
All right, guys.
Taking note.
I was just about to say that, by the way.
Shut up, Zed. You're not a part of this campaign. Okay, cool. So you guys, you make your way over the bridge into the kind of main keep, and into the kind of the admin building. You go down past the door to Queniel's office, and kind of next one along is it's kind of got this sign on the door. It's got like a very, very neatly written name tag. You can see that the person who did this clearly had some calligraphy skills. And as you kind of open the door, you see that even at this late hour, kind of sat behind a desk with his nose in a thick ledger is a gnome. He looks up at you. No, hearings for the fund are not today. Go away, I'm busy.
He seems awfully pretentious.
The hearings for no, I'm sorry. I think you misunderstand. We've completed the contract on the missing villager.
At this, you see his ears pick up a bit. Ah, well, that means you'll be here to make a deposit then.
Of course. So Roland walks into the room and presents the bag of coin.
Mm-hmm. So as he sees this coin purse, you can see that he's definitely like the jingle jangle is kind of making him pay a bit more attention to it. You would know, you've kind of had dealings with him before during your training. You know that for the last kind of decade or so, with the relations being quite stale with the kingdom, Funis, the guild's cash flow hasn't been as ideal as it has been in the past. So it's been a rough few years for Ronfun. But he kind of takes the coin. He opens the coin purse, pulls out a gold piece, and kind of sniffs it and kind of bites it lightly. Ah, good. You never be too sure of these villagers. We've been shortchanged a few times, but this checks out. Very good. Like I say, it's nice to see you initiate so prompt with your first quests. A lot of people party for weeks before they get any real work done.
Well, we are eager to prove ourselves.
Well, just keep proving yourself, and I'm sure we'll get along just fine.
Of course. So, what was that about hearings when I walked in?
Oh, the hearings, yes. Well, now that you're full-blown brothers of the Order, you have just as much right as anybody to put in a hearing request for a grant from the guild's pooled treasury. Usually we only really take seriously any large requests from higher ranking members who have serious problems to deal with. If you needed money for equipment or items, you could put a case forward, and we might consider giving you a small grant towards.
Who is Grant and why is he so small?
He kind of looks up at you. There's nothing wrong with being small, you towering buffoon. Haven't you got a tree to headbutt or something?
Towering balloon.
He kind of puts to himself at this, slightly annoyed that his little barbed rebuttal just didn't seem to connect and make any sense to Titus. But yes, as I said, it's tomorrow. It's usually well, prepare a compelling case if you want to see any.
Right, I see. As newly made members of the Order, what sort of funds would we be able to request access to?
Well, it's less about what you can request as to what you require. We don't give you things purely because you want them.
No, of course. But certain weapons or equipment may be useful on our contracts. It's just a case of making a request, and you'll review it.
Yes, we will. We will take your case under consideration, and the council will make a decision.
Okay, something to bear in mind. Thank you for your time, Runfin, and I'll be on the way, and we'll make sure to return shortly with more contracts fulfilled.
Well, I anticipate it with great glee, my fellow.
Okay.
He kind of gives you a gesture that kind of could be a wave, could be a shooing motion, but he gets back to his ledger and you can see he's tallying up. Looks to be an expenses table.
So Rulin will, well, I guess, take Titus and return to the rest of the party and fill them in on the potential of requesting grants from the Order.
Could it be possible that the guild could be currently low on funds?
See, you would that would probably be something you would have picked up over this past year of training. I mean, like, it has enough cash to get by and keep the fires lit in the kitchens. You can tell that, like, there's some maintenance work around Karen when really done hasn't. You probably realise they're not going to be swimming in gold behind.
And they've got to be pretty desperate for cash if they're taking whatever Croc took back to KRM one. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, if no one else has anything to say, I think I'll be heading to bed. It's been a long day.
Sure. So, as you guys kind of follow Rulin, as you can see that, like, a lot of the Slayers have already kind of found their way to their bunks. So you guys go and find your bunks and you get ready to take a long rest. So everybody, if you haven't already, reset your D&D Beyonds with a long rest.
Thank goodness for that.
And about 2 hours later, you as you are kind of meditating to your 4 hours sleep, you hear the kind of a clatter of hooves. In a few minutes later, you see Yhendorn come in, and he finds his way to his bunk, and he kind of gets to sleep. You can really mention anything to him.
Okay.
So the night passes uneventfully. You're kind of woken again with the sound of castle coming to life, and George started to kind of ring out with hammer blows. So you all wake up feeling refreshed, ready for the day ahead.
Okay.
Titus is with his new shield. He only has a big axe and then 2 little axes, but he would like a medium-sized axe. So he's going to go. Yeah, he wants a battle axe. Because right now he's like I say, he's only using the smaller ones. So he's going to get a Crummerson and try and trade the 2 hand axes for a medium axe.
Okay. So you walk across to the smithy. Sure enough, the forge is lit. The metal is heating away. You can see Hulrus kind of sanding the face of one of the hammers prior to the day's work. Ah, Titus, here for another stint at the forge with me?
Not this time. I have new contract with my new friend Grant.
I need to get out more. Can't say I've heard of him.
Neither have I. But apparently he has requests.
And what is it that your friend Grant requests?
I need a bigger axe. These little ones are not good for killing nasty witches.
And he kind of looks at his hand axes and he recognizes them. He was the one originally. He looks over the blades and sees that there's not any real damage there. Well, if you're going to trade these in, I can probably take a fair chunk off the price. Tell you what, Titus, for you, if you give me these 2, I'll only charge you 30 to make up the difference. How's that sound?
That sounds good. Titus does not have money now, but I will come back soon with Rulan, who can help me count.
Okay, big man. You do that. I'll be here.
And then,
he takes his hammer and turns back.
So does Rulan manage Titus's money for him then as well? I guess.
Well, I
guess Titus can't count.
Okay.
I think just in terms of like actual outside of if Chaz keeps his inventory, just like if he wants to buy anything in the game, just gets you to come with him.
Yeah.
That's probably the easiest way of doing this.
Yeah, because he knows 1, and then some, and then lots.
Okay.
He knows that some plus some can sometimes be some, but sometimes it can be lots.
Right. So we're gonna get there in the end.
Yeah.
Okay, sure. So yes, Titus, you found out you can change over these hand axes with a premium battle axe.
Cool.
Okay, so you find a room. I guess you probably fill him in with what you need from him.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep. Well, we'll head off with him then to.
Okay,
right,
so
I don't have the money yet, so I figure we'll do that after the next contract. I'll probably have the money. So,
30 gold.
Yeah, right now I only have 10.
You should have more than that.
You've got 40 on D&D Beyond.
It spent some last time.
It's definitely not 40 because I probably haven't updated it. I've been keeping track on my paper, so I should update
but
it.
Remember, he had to do some work in order to pay for it.
Yeah, and then I bought the shield, which was 50.
Oh yeah.
So he.
yeah, okay, that's why then it's not up to date.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'll change my currency. Sorry, man.
That's all right. Okay, so yeah, you explained to Rule what's going on. So what would the rest of you be doing this fine?
The sun's up. It's time to make potions.
Mm-hmm. Alrighty then. So are we rolling from? Are you just gonna...
I'm gonna roll one and craft one with a spell slot.
Okay. 6.
Safari, Eureka! I've done it again.
Okay, so 6 is on the table. Yours.
Cool. I'll tell you what I've just made once I work out. I've made another potion of transformation, and I'll also take a healing potion.
Right. Okay.
What is Heal Tooth?
I'm in the bunk still.
Oh, he's probably not up yet.
Well, I am now.
You will have heard of Torek. As usual, he's not discreet roommate with his morning experiments.
You know, Torek, one day I'll have a lie-in.
Why lie in? There's so much life and adventure to be had, man. Come on.
That is true, but there is also much sleep to be had.
I like how you're preaching the benefits of life to a lot, right?
That is a very good point. So much life to be healed.
This is very true.
Oh, yes. Just gets out of bed.
Okay, so Yhendorn, you've been rudely by Torek. So by this point, Rulin and Titus have come back from his little excursion to the smithy. Hadn't taken too long to really do that.
Huh. It is nice
Probably
to see
have
you.
Party.
Oh, Yhendorn, my friend. You were sorely missed yesterday, my friend.
Oh, eventful then?
Well, you remember hearing about the hags that live in the forests from the old Baron?
I do.
Yeah,
remember.
well, we've got some first-hand experience with those nasty little creatures.
Oh, how wonderful! How did that go?
Well, we're all still alive and mostly in one piece.
Mostly?
The hag, not so much.
Ah, I see. Well,
unfortunately, the man we went to save was already dead when we got there, but did rescue a young girl. And the villagers were grateful.
That is a great shame. At least one life was saved this day.
Yes, quite. So, would you like to fill us in on what you've been up to?
Yes, sure. So, finding the note.
You got a script?
I don't have a script. I'm just looking.
One day ago.
I can picture Chaz just shaking with excitement, waiting to hear the story.
Well, my day may be. Well, it was eventful, but not as combative as yours, I guess. So, Dolasar approached me, and he told me of some rumors that were going about. So, we travelled to the small village of Runeling, I believe it was called, and while we were there, we spoke to a man called Aurelius, I believe it was, who had some trouble with some one of his goats going missing. He had a theory as to what it was, and we confirmed that theory. And it turns out his goat was taken by a small dragon.
Dragon.
So we spoke to the elderman in the village and managed to negotiate a contract for us to go and hunt for and to deal with this young dragon.
Fireworms are a deadly creature.
They are.
But you said it wasn't as combative. Did you find the dragon?
No, it was not there while I was there. We just heard the rumors that it had been there, and we confirmed these with the discovery of a scale of the dragon.
I see. Do you know much about the dragon?
I believe it was a red scale, so it's a red dragon. Very young, from what I guess. It would. The older dragons would not deal with hunting goats. It's not a substantial meal for them. So it may just be a small baby, but my fear is that where there are baby dragons, there are also very, very big dragons, which are their parents.
Right.
Titus has seen big red dragons kill 10, 20 mammoth in one feast.
Yes, there's no denying it. A full-size dragon is a dangerous beast. Never faced one myself, but yeah, I've heard the stories.
Yes, due to the danger of the contract, Dolasar suggested that the fee for the guild should be 900 gold. So
Wow.
This contract could be very good for us.
It could indeed. And also potentially be a very dangerous undertaking.
That is true, and that is why the price is so high.
Can't Titus buy his axe with these coins?
And then some, my friend.
Then we should kill this little red dragon.
Well, it would certainly be worth looking into. Perhaps. Whereabouts was this runeling?
It was a couple of hours' ride from where we are. It is not desperately far away.
We could certainly investigate a little more and see what we can find.
Do we think we should do other contracts first, or do we just want to dive right into this?
I think straight at it.
I reckon straight at it as well.
Straight at it.
Yeah. 900 gold. I know Titus wouldn't know what this is, but he wants his axe.
The longer we leave a dragon to grow, the harder it will be to deal with. So I believe we should take this contract as soon as possible.
Yes. And the more risk it will be to the villagers of Runling, I suppose.
Correct. I would not want to see another city destroyed by dragons.
No, certainly. Well, should we see Quiniel about the contract then? Or have you already had it all signed and
I
set
do
up?
not know if Dolasar took it upon himself to talk to Equiniel. We shall see, I guess.
So the contract would have been struck there and then by Dolasar with the village elder. So you would probably have a copy of this, actually, Rich.
Yeah, okay. There is no need. Dolasar dealt with this at the time because it is such a pressing matter for them. I actually have the contract here if anyone would like to look.
I can think of one person who'd like to look.
Sorry, I was AFK for a second there because, parents in the room. Is it me? Is it me that has to look?
Well, I mean, it's a contract, so you've looked before.
No, sorry, guys. It's definitely me who should take a look.
Titus, perhaps you should check this fine print.
Titus gets out his reading spectacles and puts them
Legendary reading
getting out reading spectacles and then admitting Titus can't read.
plus 24 to his intelligence when
They have hidden fees and clauses.
But I mean, from a glance, this contract was kind of just struck up on a piece of parchment. No real kind of flowery writing to it. It basically just comes down to the fact that you, as the order and kind of on their behalf, promised to slay this beast and be compensated 900 gold on kind of return with proof of its death.
That is fucking sick.
One part of the contract is we must bring back proof that we have slain this dragon. So please don't completely destroy the body, please, Torek. I know what you're like.
Now, dragonhide is very resistant. I'd have to come up with a very good acid to. Ooh, maybe it is possible.
His eyes sparkle.
So also gets Rulin thinking about the conversation he had with Rumfin the day before, that perhaps it could be worth us applying for a grant. We could certainly use better equipment if we're heading up against a dragon.
Or even
if Grant has fought dragon before, he would be very useful.
Yes.
Wait, did you tell everyone else about the grant? I can't remember in character.
Yeah, but I came back and just told everyone about it.
Okay.
Well, I suppose Yhendorn wasn't there at the time. Yeah. Okay, so Rulin fills in Yhendorn on the conversation he had with Rumfin.
Yeah, sure.
Well, I mean, like yourself, my friend, your magic, I'm sure, would be a potent weapon against the dragon. But for the rest of us, more traditional fighters, it's well, I don't think we'd do much good against as Torek said, the tough hide of a dragon. We need something special for that.
The tough hide itself is not the only threat. Perhaps we could obtain ourselves some means of resistance to fire. That would be most helpful.
Yes, most.
Titus does not like fire.
It's not only that, we need to also consider we're killing a small youngling dragon under the nose of its mother. We may also want to consider some kind of concealment. If I remember rightly, dragons have very keen sense of smell, and maybe even magical potential, depending on what type of dragon. Maybe they have greater hearing. We can't confirm this, and walks away. I think Torek's gonna go over to the library and pour over some books on red dragons.
Okay. Yeah, sure thing.
Nice.
So you kind of stroll over to Cornelius' office. He's not in. He's obviously a member of this council, so he's probably in the Great Hall.
Well, I guess if it doesn't leave the building, he wouldn't mind me just reading something, and I'll help myself.
Okay, so you try the door to his kind of library, find it. He clearly doesn't trust a group of kind of thuggish fighters to have access to his library.
That is my fault.
God, okay.
What kind of lock is it?
It's kind of just a standard tumbler and pin kind of affair.
Okay, so I'm gonna mold my spellcasting tools into a lockpick tools and try it.
Sure, roll me the dice.
Cool. So Dex plus proficiency, I guess.
Are you
12.
proficient in lockpicking with thieves' tools?
I am proficient in thieves' tools, yes.
Then, in which case, yes, 12. So you managed to click open lock. It's not really designed to keep determined people. And the door swings open to reveal Quiniel's personal library. As we've kind of discovered before, this kind of stretches back further than the architecture would really allow. He's probably put some form of enchantment on it to allow it to extend this far back.
That's cool.
Cool. I'll just help myself to a book and just sit down and start reading it.
Okay, so what kind of book would you be looking for?
Volo's Guide to Big, Scary, Scaly Monsters.
So you don't find anything by this Volo who you're looking for. However, you do see kind of on one of the higher shelves, there seems to be a kind of a thick compendium to magical monstrosities.
Oh.
But it is out of your reach.
I was going to say it would be on the top shelf.
I put up my hand to my mouth as if I'm about to call Titus, then I remember I probably shouldn't call Titus.
Oh, this is a dilemma. Thought I'd be better at this kind of thing by now.
I look around for like if there's a ladder.
No, there is no ladder. You know that Equenial is obviously more than capable of using mage hand to retrieve his books.
Flippin' heck.
Right. I'm gonna look around and see if he's got like any paperweights or any like small objects on his desk.
Okay, so you walk onto his desk. So not onto, up to his desk, and yeah, there is kind of a stack of papers being pinned down under a quite a nice blue shiny crystal of some kind.
Okay, I'm gonna load one of them into my crossbow and shoot down the book.
Okay, roll me a hit dice.
Oh no. Ooh.
Okay, so you kind of fire this kind of little crystal at the book, and it's got quite a thick leather case to it, and the crystal kind of like one of the points of it kind of sticks in to that, leaves a kind of gouge, but it kind of the force of the impact knocks it off the shelf down onto the floor within your reach. A few books are kind of knocked off alongside it from the possible bow.
Ooh. I'll stack the other books onto a nearby table as if to say, whoops, didn't mean to do that. Pick up the book in question, pull out the crystal, and just mending the spine.
Okay, so as you kind of apply this, the gouge patches itself up. Anyone who looked at it wouldn't be able to know much.
Honestly, so much effort for a book, and I sit down and start my study. I'll tell you what. I'll take a transcript of any relevant sections toward the dragon.
Okay, so you flick through the book. It takes you like about 5 minutes or so to find what you want. The writing style is quite poor. It hasn't really got a clear index, so it does take you a while to root out what you're looking for. But sure enough, you come across red dragons and kind of start reading through. So roll me intelligence, please.
Okay then. $13.
So you can kind of work out from this, from the relatively flowery writing, you managed to decant it into some useful information. You figure out that the red dragons are typically found in mountainous areas or hills, somewhere kind of elevated terrain. They're incredibly dangerous when full grown. Many towns and cities have been passed by an awesome red dragon, but in their youth they tend not to venture too far from their lives, preying on kind of small creatures and the occasional unwary traveler. It says that they're typically incredibly arrogant to their core. These creatures take pride in their monstrosity. But beyond that, you don't seem to find much else. Like all other dragons, they're obsessive collectors, whereas red dragons kind of go to the next level with that, coveting gold more than most.
Interesting. Okay.
As you're kind of finishing up and copying this down, you kind of hear a
I look up.
as you look up, you see Aquenial in the door, looking incredibly irritated.
Oh, shit.
He kind of reaches his hand out, and you feel yourself kind of be almost forcefully restrained by some unseen hands and kind of lifted. And he kind of raises you up to his face height. You have 4 seconds to explain what you're doing in here before you start turning into smaller pieces of Toric.
I was just taking some notes for an adventure. Yes, yeah. Nothing malicious. I promise. I couldn't reach the top shelf though. I had to improvise.
I don't care whether you're adventuring, or whether you're going shopping, or what else. You do not enter my private library.
Oh.
He points up to the ceiling, and you can see that you missed it on your way in, but on the roof of this there is a glyph that has obviously alerted him to an intruder.
Oh, shit.
You, of all people, should have known that.
Do you honestly think that I'm okay with thugs like you wandering through my sacred library? And he kind of gestures at this point. My life's collection of knowledge, and just picking from the shelves? You think you get to swan in here and acquire this knowledge?
Please do not mistake my blasé behavior for respect of your tomes, my good man. As you can see, I'm not reading any old thing. I picked out something I think you'd quite respect, and I honestly, I'm not like these other ruffians.
Roll me persuasion.
Ooh, that rolled over the 1. Okay, that's God, that's 12. That's 12.
He's like, he can see that you clearly have been reading a related tome, but he's still not happy with you being.
Okay.
Be that as it may, if you want a tome, you ask for a tome. If I deem it to be relevant, then you shall receive it. You do not wander in and help yourself. This,
Very well.
he uses the kind of force that's gripping you to kind of hurl you through the door, kind of out over his desk and into his office. So you land with quite a thump. Roll me a save.
It's a lot of die. That's a 9 on the dex throw.
So you kind of manage to land mostly on your feet, kind of stagger out. It's not enough to do you any harm. It was, bro. You can tell that he's quite irate. Now, get the hell out of my office before I consider using any more magic today.
Yes, you don't want to be wasting any slots or anything. I walk out.
You kind of feel the door very forcefully slam behind.
Ooh. Wonder who pissed in his spellbook.
It was me.
Why do you think he doesn't like adventurers in his library?
Oh, no.
Something happened there, but we don't know what.
It's a mystery. Okay, so yeah, I mean, you found out a little bit about your potential here. You did get discovered doing it.
Okay. I'll bring the transcripts back to the party, and I'll go over it with them. I'll go. So I found out. I've done some digging, and I found out that red dragons don't stray very far from their parents, but have a very, very large covetment for gold.
Right.
Perhaps that could be a way to lure the younger and possibly more foolish dragon away from her parent.
It's not like we have a lot of gold, but could be worthwhile.
Perhaps a younger dragon would not know the difference between real and fake gold.
I've got an idea. Hang on. I'm gonna. I'm guessing today we're just gonna be prepping for the expedition, right? Or are we just gonna head off?
No, let's go. Like let's. Saying, right? Is it just me who thinks that? But
Well, we could get a few bits of equipment, possibly. Get to the dragon!
give me the dragon.
So horny. Well, yeah, it's up to you guys to spend your doing.
Well, I think Rulin probably wants to pay a visit to to Dalasar and see if he can. Well, obviously he knows a bit about dragons and kind of see if he can find out how we can combat a dragon. See if he knows anything.
Sure.
Okay.
So you find Dolasar in his workshop. He's kind of putting the kind of the finishing touches a set of chainmail. So you walk in and you see him kind of leaning over. Brilliant. One moment, almost done here. And you see him kind of reach up, kind of pull his kind of collar of his shirt down a little bit and pluck out one of his kind of black scales. And he kind of sews this onto the chest of his chainmail. Here, this is kind of his craftsman's signature, if you will. He won't put one of his own scales to a piece of his armor unless he's fully satisfied. But you would know if you see a kind of a guild-made armor set with this black scale, but it's kind of past his quality control.
That's the good shit.
But once he kind of finishes with that, now what can I do for you?
Well, Yhendorn's informed us of your adventure, your recent adventures to Runelink. I've come to see if you could help us. We'll be facing this red dragon. Well, I expect we'll be heading out today. I want to know if you know anything about the red dragons, really, that could help us. Any means of fighting it or means of protecting ourselves against it.
He thinks a little bit. Well, this one's a wormling, so it's not. Its hide isn't fully developed. Its control over its fire is not yet mastered. I would suggest being careful, approaching it with caution, and perhaps even having some magical means at your disposal to allow you to sneak up to it. You don't want to be caught in the open, where this will probably char-grill you where you stand.
Of course.
Even a wormling, little control is dangerous. You don't know what it'll do with its breath. As for killing it, well, your weapons will probably be effective. As I said, the hide is not yet developed to its full potential.
I see.
But it won't be an easy fight. It's got vicious claws. Its fangs are sharp, regardless of its age.
Right. And it's well, I know of the older dragon's abilities to well, specifically red dragons to breathe and spit fire. Would this young dragon be capable of such a thing?
Yes, but not to the extent of a fully grown adult dragon. The glands aren't fully grown at this point. It would only be able to muster a shorter burst of flame.
Right, I see. Could be worth us looking into some sort of protection against this fire.
Yes, potentially. But not sure what you'd be able to find for that.
No. Well, I'm sure we can speak to Torek, see if there's something he can rustle us up, maybe.
Perhaps he's always coming up with something, isn't he?
Yes, indeed. Well, thank you very much, Dalasar. You've been most helpful.
No problem. Good luck out there. Stay safe.
Thank you. So we'll not go back and share the information with the rest of the party. So I think we've got a pretty good idea of how a fight's going to go. Well, we don't need to worry too much about needing special weaponry, I guess.
And see if he's got those.
You're going to have to say that again, Pascal. You cut out almost.
Sorry, the internet is shit.
Yeah.
Can you hear what I'm saying?
Just about.
Would it be possible to go and speak to the quartermaster at Radius Valerie and see if he's got anything to help?
Yeah, you could certainly try and chat with him, see if he's got anything.
Okay, let's go see him. Does he have anything that specifically help with fire resistance?
So, you walk into his shop. He kind of looks up to you. Well, you're back from the first expedition as adventurers. That's always a good sign.
Yeah, we survived. Just about. I guess it was okay.
Good. Well, the fact that you're coming to see me probably means you've got something on your minds to be getting on with. How can I help?
Someone to see about a dragon. 1 second. Apparently, I'm really roboty.
A dragon, you say? Well, rather you than me, but I can certainly have a route around. Yeah, he goes into the back of his store and he has a look around. Well, I've got some. No, that's probably not going to do it. And he comes back and he's kind of lugging a kind of set of full plates. Well, I know it'll heat up, but it'll keep you alive for a few seconds longer than what you're wearing. It's not going to come cheap, though.
How much are we talking?
For a full plate like this, we're probably looking the best part of 600 gold.
Might be a little more price range.
Well, I'm sorry, it's the guild price I've been given. I even had Dolasar inspect it to tell me what it was worth himself. He knows more about it than anybody else here.
Yeah, that's fine. Don't worry. I'll speak to the rest of the team and see. What, sorry? Yeah, I think maybe I'll go to of them. No, I think even if we pulled everything, it's probably a little beyond what we can.
Yeah, it's. I mean, this is kind of full suit of armor. And as he says, whilst it would keep you alive for, I don't know, a few seconds longer, it is going to heat up, exposed to a lot.
And then as Triss sort of shares this with the group, Titus, for once, actually says something that's actually kind of smart. And he's like, "You do not want to be in Little Can. We have to be quick."
We're going to play sensibly rather than full on. Okay.
If it cannot hit us, then it cannot hurt us.
I'm sure we can work out an effective strategy once we get there. We'll figure something out. As Dalasar said, it's still a youngling, so it will be a hard fight, but I think we can manage it.
Okay.
Anyone have any other business they need to attend to before we leave?
I think the only thing I want to do is I might have a campfire experiment to do on the way, but I can't think of anything else I want to do in camp at base.
Well, it's only a couple of hours away, didn't you say?
So Yhendorn and Dalasar rode there on horseback. So,
okay.
guys, it will probably take you 2 days to get there on foot.
Okay.
Forgot about that.
That's okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's up to you guys if you want to set off now. Or...
we don't have time to lose. I think we should make our final preparations and start heading towards the city or village.
Okay.
Okay, sure thing. So you guys set out on foot from KRM when the solid was fading from view, and with it the kind of relative safety of your home, and you head out into the wilderness. I mean, it's forest like you've been traveling through, so nothing new to you, but the world, you can tell, is still very much untamed out here. The roads are starting to be already taken over by kind of growths of. It's probably well overdue a bit of trimming. But you make decent enough progress with kind of Havel at the front. His kind of past experience once again paying dividends. So you get quite far in the first day. However, as evening closes in and you kind of find yourself wandering through the forest, you kind of come across a stream that's kind of going in roughly the direction you go. Havel, roll me a nature check. Well, with advantage because it's favored terrains.
Let's do this. So double D20. Oh, double D. Oh god. Oh god, I may have just thrown 4.
It's okay. So it's advantage. T plus your nature.
My nature is +4, so it's an 18. Funnily enough.
So in amongst this forest, you kind of see that there are a lot of crows sitting on kind of the upper branches of these trees, and they seem to be watching you.
Interesting. Like, all the crows watching us as we're moving, like just constantly eyes trained.
Yeah, they're kind of watching you go.
So I'm wondering. wonder if I could. Many there are a lot of. Oh, can't tell if anyone said anything.
Oh, I think you cut out there. Sorry, what were you saying?
I was saying, how many crows are we talking? Is it like a lot of crows, like a disturbing amount?
So we're probably looking at a reasonably sized flock of crows here, 30 or so.
That's a lot of crows.
As you move through this forest, they kind of relocate from tree to tree to kind of keep track of you.
Ooh. And after picking up on that, definitely put out to the team that guys, there's something a bit weird going on here. A lot, and they are following.
Crows. I can't say I've been followed by crows before.
It must be these sneaky chickens again.
It's not my first time, but there's something to be concerned about.
Pavel, is there any way of checking what they want or why they're following us?
Oh, I mean, someone could speak to them, probably, yeah.
I have to speak the language. I have to speak a language.
Unless you have to speak with animals. I wonder who has that.
Speak to them. Mew.
Ilcast speaks on one of the crows. And then we can hear Crispy's crow voice as well.
Okay. So you cast speak with animals on crows.
I can speak to small animals if you want to save a spell slot. Although, I probably won't be as good a diplomat to the crows.
I was going to say,
I'm guessing the crows count. Yeah, because speak with animals could come in handy later.
Okay.
Okay, so
if you want to go for.
I mean, we could see whether I can communicate with them and see whether they understand any language.
If Tori doesn't have to use any spell slots.
Well, the Warlock's telepath ability, I'm sure, does include creatures, doesn't it?
Again, that's a spell slot, though.
No, it's not a spell slot. It's free use.
Oh,
I think.
sick!
But I can communicate telepathically with any creature you can see within 30 feet. They just must be able to understand at least one language. So it could be that I try and see.
I think that's more of a stretch than Toric trying to.
Yeah, I think we're probably safer going with Toric, given the options.
The small animals.
Go for it, Toric.
Do we need to lift you up? Oh, you are down there.
They're small little
I'm always all right down here.
Oh.
So
see, now I just want to hoist him onto my shoulders so he's a bit close.
I mean, yeah, you can if you want.
Oh, absolutely. I'm totally up for this. I just want to pick Toric up and just like slam him on my shoulders. There you go.
Okay, so Toric, from your vantage point, are you going to try to communicate with these crows?
Cool. Through sounds and gestures, you can communicate simple ideas with small or smaller beasts.
Oh, simple ideas.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm going to go, look, we don't have any food. Go away.
The crows kind of stare at you with a kind of a cold, stony. They don't take their eyes off of you.
I don't think they can understand me. No food. Like the heavy hand gestures.
Titus, while this is going on, and you're looking around, your usual alert self, roll me a perception.
Okay.
Oh.
That's 13.
So you can see kind of set a little bit into the tree line away from this stream. Appears to be some sort of kind of stick kind of planted into the ground, a few other kind of sticks tied in like what looks to be a crude triangle.
A stick, three sticks in the ground tied to each other.
And kind of atop this, you can see a few items, fern branch kind of tied to it with plant fibers, what looks to be a skull of a small creature.
What?
And there are some in the kind of the main pole. There are some symbols kind of scratched into the bark. So.
Okay, while Torek and Havel are doing their thing, I'm gonna silently, because I'm in like kill mode now. I'm gonna tap Triss, because she knows magic-y stuff, and just sort of be like, put my finger up to my mouth to say like, shh, and then like gesture her to come with me into the forest. I'm gonna like try and sneak over there to get us closer.
Before they move, Triss sort of tries to grab Titus's elbow, and she's going to cast Detect Magic. So she's sort of caught sight Titus has noticed. Yeah, and before we get any closer, she kind of wants to know what's going on a little bit more.
Good idea.
So you obviously see that Titus clearly he's kind of gesturing towards this, and sure enough, it doesn't take you too long to kind of clock on to what he's pointing at, and you see this kind of effigy as well.
Okay. What could I see with that? How much would I know from what's going on?
Well, you would know that this is probably not a natural occurrence. Obviously, you don't recognize the symbols that are carved into the tree, or the branch that's kind of the main pillar of this thing. You can probably figure out it's probably not a good thing.
Okay, some bad juju. Yeah, okay. Let's go creep closer and have a closer look and see if we can figure out what's going on a little bit more.
Okay. So
going in all quiet and careful while those guys are communing with the birds.
Roll me an investigation.
Would you roll for me, Jason?
I'm gonna help.
Okay, Titus is
Yeah, so I'm going to roll for Pascal.
And this is +6. Oh god!
with advantage.
Wow. With advantage.
With advantage, yeah.
Ah, okay. One more. So one more.
Wow. Thanks, Jason.
15.
15.
So you're not able to decipher the marks, but you, on closer examination, realize this is probably some form of pagan magic.
Okay.
All the time this has been going on, the crows have kind of not stopped keeping an eye on you. A few have kind of broken off from the group and followed you two over. So,
oh shit! So they know what we're doing.
Yeah, you. It's hard to sneak when you've got this many pairs of eyes kind of keeping watch on you.
Okay.
Yhendorn, roll me a perception check.
Oh god.
Sure. That would be a 23.
23.
You think you saw movement in the trees?
I don't want to alert anything, so I don't want to say much out loud. I'm going to approach the trees, but stay about a couple of feet back so I'm not behind the tree line and try and have a slightly better look. See if I can see anything that's there still.
Okay.
Roll initiative.
When Tris notices Yhendorn wandering off, she's going to commune with him. She's going to use the telepathic talking thing and see what he's noticed.
Okay, so Yhendorn, you kind of walk a little further into these trees. You cast your eyes to where you thought you saw. Probably another perception.
$12.
Whatever it was, you can't seem to find it.
Must have been a trick of the wind. I'm not overly suspicious of the fact I can't see anything anymore, so I just head back towards the middle of the path and the rest of the group.
Sure. So, yeah, Torek is still trying to communicate with these crows, but doesn't seem to be having any effect.
No feed, no core. We don't even have any bread. Go away, please. Yours sincerely, Torek, master of the prehistoric.
The crows just sit on the trees. It's clearly having absolutely.
Well, I think Havel should be. He's the useful one here.
I think it's time.
This is very odd. They only usually group up like this when large amounts of food are produced at battlefields and whatnot.
I think you're thinking of vultures, but okay.
I mean, it's called a murder of crows. Okay.
Well, shit, I
Right, so,
hardly know them.
As this is kind of, as you've taken the time to do this, the sun is starting to set a little bit, and these kind of a light is dying in the forest.
Okay, let's get this done. So, time for you to get it down, little man. Gonna take Torek off, and I'm gonna cast Speak with Animals.
Okay.
For definite this time. Use it up.
Sure. So you cast Speak with Animals. Crows.
Okay. Right, you lot. What are you doing? Why are you watching us?
They still maintain their own. They choose not to speak to you.
Oh, the pain. Rejected by crows.
I told you, it's okay. They don't know reason. They're birds.
It's one of very few times a bird has not spoken back. There's something on. Oh, it's definitely something going on, and I don't like it. And the sun's setting. And, yeah, we're probably screwed.
Is this thing that me and Tris were looking at? Would Titus be able to see it as a trap of some kind?
You would look at it and see that there are no strings or anything attached. You can't see any pressure plates. It doesn't look to be a trap.
While we're stood there, I'm gonna cast Mage Hand. I kind of want to
poke it a little bit.
Oh,
Okay.
Did you say there's a skull on it? I'm gonna poke the skull.
So as you kind of give this skull a little push with a mage hand, it kind of falls off the effigy, and as this happens, the crows take off and start circling ahead.
Oops.
That's no good.
Well, we are no longer being watched, I guess.
Oh, they're still circling overhead. They're keeping their airborne.
I've got dark. Shall I just cast darkness on them, and then they can't see what we're doing?
But then we can't see what we're doing, can we?
Yeah, but I can carry something. I could carry the darkness, and we can walk in darks.
Sounds
yeah,
like
but we
kind of
wouldn't be able to see though.
Yeah. Tree there.
Well, unless you got dark vision, right?
No, not
No,
that
you'd have
sure.
to have true sight, I think.
Oh, okay.
Oh, sorry, no, I don't know that, but yes. Oh,
We would all be blind.
Well, I'm talking out of
basically.
character, so yeah.
yeah.
That's a terrible idea then.
Alright, let's not do that. Any ideas, anybody?
This land is cursed. We must move.
It's getting dark, my friends.
We're going to need a light of some sort.
Staying here is maybe not such a good idea. I think we should keep
Staying
moving.
here, not a good idea. It seems to be quite concealed. We could set up a nice camp here.
No.
Yes. Wonderful
We must move.
crow
I do. I do not think staying near this effigy is a smart idea.
particularly good one. You...
Titus is going to light up one of his torches
Okay.
and sort of help light the way for Havel to lead us through the forest. We must move with haste, my friend.
Haste. He
Havel,
knows
how
the word
far can you
haste.
get us from this effigy?
I was going to say,
That's
we must go quick now.
Sorry, what was that,
Seriously.
Chris?
How far can Havel get us tonight if we give him some decent light? I can cast flame and give us some more light.
With a bit of light, it'll be tough progress to go through the darkness with torches. As a party, you'd kind of struggle, especially after a full day's march already. You could probably make a couple of perhaps, but it would take a long.
So, what should we do? Do we keep moving in the darkness or do we make camp here? Those are the options.
I say we set up camp here.
I don't like it terribly much, but moving through the forest in the darkness is a good way to get lost. We don't know really where we're going.
Agreed. There is no good option, but I believe that is the best option.
Okay. We'll set up a perimeter. Tarek, you could use your magic to alert us if anything enters the camp.
Well, technically, it's not magic. It's a magical
Sorry.
expression through objects, but you'll get there.
Yes. And we'll set 2 people to stay on watch during the night. Preferably those of us who can see in the dark.
Okay. So
Who has dark vision?
Yhendorn.
True sight.
Rulin. Anyone who's elven should have it, I think.
Okay, yeah, I do.
And gnomes as well. Torek should have it.
Yeah.
So dark vision is to be noted is not like the equivalent just
Of
being
seeing
able to
the
see in the
no,
dark.
You've got to
Yeah.
still have a small light source.
It's kind of like very grainy.
Shades of
It's like,
grey.
it's like black and white. Yeah.
We should still be able to pick up movement through in the darkness kind of thing.
Yeah.
So,
If-
what are you guys going to be doing tonight to set up this camp? What camp are you going to be? So you do have the stream kind of nearby.
I think we should go back towards the stream and see if we can get a campfire lit, maybe. Or maybe if we could get to the other side of the stream.
Ooh, yeah. How big is the stream?
It's about 10 foot, but there are a couple of kind of stepping stones you get across easily.
It's not going to affect crows though. They'll find us.
No, but at
anyway.
least it just puts something between us and that
Effigy thing.
whatever it was. Yeah.
I guess we'll be crossing it in the darkness though.
How deep is it?
It's probably about thigh height for the average human.
Oh, so
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna grab Torek, and just like roughly pick him up and start walking across the stream.
Okay. So yeah, Torek, you kind of picked up to kind of pulled across this stream.
I
So
think
you
it is
guys-
safe.
So you guys kind of find a little gap in the trees where you can set up a camp.
Okay.
So who is going out to get the firewood? Who is going to stay and set up camp? What's going on?
I can go with someone to collect wood because I can produce flames, so I've got some form of light as well.
Okay.
Yeah, I can't see in the dark, so I'll go with Trez.
Cool.
Sure. So as you two kind of go to look for firewood, you see, obviously in a forest, there's plenty to get. You don't need to go very far to find kind of thick armor. Both of you roll me a perception check.
Do you roll for me, Jason?
Presumably, I'll be at disadvantage because it's dark.
So.
Well,
Okay.
it only gets one number worse than that.
Triss, as you're kind of picking up firewood, you can see across the river. There seems to be another one of these effigies. However, this time it's much bigger than the other one. It kind of looks like it's almost a full kind of grown tree. However, instead of a little cat's kind of skull on it, the skull at the top of this seems to be from a large elk.
Ooh.
You realize that this is kind of quite creepy. And then it turns to look at you. Everybody roll initiative.
Right, I'm gonna roll mine, then I'll roll.
Oof.
+5 for me.
Okay.
Alright.
So if you can sort yourselves out on that initiative track. Titus and Triss.
So your
9.
Triss is 9. And what was I? 7 + 5, 13.
Back at camp.
Wait. Oh, Titus. I thought there were 2 Trisses then. I was like, the fuck? me and
Oh,
Titus
this is
playing
very
that thing.
thematic.
Okay, and
Whoa, Crispy, this is stunning.
thank you.
Oh,
Ooh.
damn!
Wow,
Take a
dude.
screenshot for Rich's benefit.
Oh, there's even a little fire and everything. Oh, this is cool as fuck.
I can't see Yhendorn's thing. Is it above 13? Because I can't.
Yes.
Yeah,
Right, where do
I'm
you
on
need it to
8.
go? Okay.
Thanks.
The creature, and he's going to be because he was time.
What did you roll, Guy?
19.
Cool. Go.
Oh, is that election?
+3.
Put yourself on the track, dude.
I did. It's on 22.
And he's cool as fuck.
Is it election?
Oh my god.
Election's in this?
Damn it, someone's played Witcher.
Yeah, right. That's literally exactly what it looks like.
You can hunt a Leshen in Monster Hunter.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had the crossover. Yeah.
So yes, I have homebrewed you a lesson.
Oh, mint.
So
That is so sick, dude.
okay, so Torek, did you roll 21? Was that
22?
22?
Oh.
Okay, so
Ooh.
Torek, you kind of hear Triss's presumably kind of squeal of alarm as she realizes that this thing is an idiot.
Holy shit.
Right.
Look at that fucking thing, dude.
Fucking look at it!
Got the shit.
It looks so cool, like, coming through this tree as well, like.
Oh yeah, the
you're
trees.
There. We're here.
Let me see if I can send Rich a screenshot.
That's a cool.
Yeah, I'm taking a couple now just to
Oh,
post
Put it on
it.
a thing and I can
It's
show it on the
stunning,
Discord.
Rich. It's absolutely stunning, mate.
I'm not really able to see much of the map. Can someone move me within range distance? And I think I'm just going to start off the fight slowly by shooting the boomer blade at it.
Okay. So, Guy, that's going to be a hard shot in the darkness, so you're going to be rolling it at range.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I wanted to move in within like 30 feet-ish.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that's so cool.
Sure.
I can't see the grits. Can someone
Can
help
you
me
not?
out?
No.
Could you explain? I'm wondering whether I can use the
where do you want
bonus
to go?
action of
Quickly.
throwing it because I
Let's
already had it
around
cast.
here.
Okay.
That's fair at it. It's got to be weak to fire.
So,
Surely.
Guy, roll me dexterity to kind of hop across these stepping stones.
Alrighty. Oh wow! And now my roll strip is invisible. Just a sec.
That's odd.
Use someone
I
else's, dude, if you
rejoined to
need.
try. Oh damn! Nat 20.
You,
Nat
you
20.
barely even slow down as you kind of hop nimbly across these rocks.
Yes.
In a display of acrobatics, but puts Rulin to shame.
Yeah.
Nice.
Cool.
I jump over the rocks, pulling out a strip from my gauntlet, causing the almost like a Beyblade. I just rip out a strip, and that's propelling me.
Evolving.
It's evolving. I got 11 on the hit.
So the boomer blade kind of flies towards this thing, and you see it it hits, but it's the side of this creature, and it kind of returns to you.
Oh,
Fuck.
Okay, so the Leshen is going to land towards Torek.
Torek heading head first into the massive enemy again.
Yeah.
Yeah, makes sense, Guy. Again.
As he kind of goes towards Torek, he looks and sees the fire. You three gathered around it. You can see he's clearly angered by this. And he reaches out a hand and he casts a tangle. You three.
Well,
So you guys, I need you three to make a strength saving throw.
oh, joy, strength.
Can we do a dex
Good for
saving
you.
throw?
No, you
Good for
cannot.
you,
Please.
Yhendorn.
So Cal, you succeed. Rulin manages to kind of get out of.
Wicked.
Strength saving throw is +4, so I'm on 15.
You do not make that save.
Oh!
Oh,
Yhendorn, you fly back out of the way. You're not even slightly at risk. So, Havel, you are now restrained by this kind of mass of roots.
strange, you say?
Yes, restrained by a kind of massive roots that have kind of sprung out of the kind of the branches from above, the kind of the undergrowth below. So he is now going to kind of reach out his hand, bonus action. He kind of bellows this noise, and you can see the crows circling above kind of descend in a kind of a 10-foot cube here. So because you're in tangles, this is going to hit you, and it's going to be 4 damage. So 2 damage. It's not much. The crows kind of scratch at you, but manage to move your eyes kind of out of the way in time to kind of avoid the worst of these kind of pecking, scratching feats. The other 2 who are going to be affected, only a Constitution save.
2 damage.
As
Sorry,
these kind of crows are flapping around you.
was that me again as well?
Yes. So
That'd be a 9.
Yhendorn.
11. So Constitution, that's a 14.
That's a what, sorry, Rich?
14.
Okay, so again, Yhendorn, you managed to kind of bat away these crows. However, Rulin, these crows kind of they get in your way and they're in your face. They're really distracting. So until the start of next turn, you'll be rolling.
Rolling what, sorry?
Rolling with disadvantage. because these crows are kind of getting in your way, and you're trying to fight them off.
Jesus.
That is the end of his. So we have to.
Havel, you go first, man. You go first, Jace, because you got to get out of that.
I'm muted. Oh, not muted. Oh, I thought I was muted then. Okay, so I'm still entangled, aren't I?
Yes, you are. You are currently restrained.
Okay. So what would I be rolling to attempt to get out of this?
So you
or is there any way to get out of this easily?
Yes.
That kind of thing.
You can try and use your strength throw to get out of it again.
Sure, you don't want to do a dex throw.
These things are gripping.
Just giving you the offer.
These things are gripping you tight. As much as you try and struggle, you can't find even any wriggle.
Right. Okay. Then, well, I've got to try and get out of it, so I'm going to run a strength check. Fuck you.
These roots and branches are really quite thick. You kind of pull on, but they don't give. Okay. Titus.
Jesus. Titus is secretly quite fond of Liartooth. And the big guy is fucking terrifying. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Can Titus get across this stream pretty easy still?
I mean, that's barely a 5-foot jump, so.
Right, for him. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So he's going to move up. He's going to use his shield and hand axe.
Okay.
As much as I want to go in with the battle axe.
Which you don't have.
Not battle axe, great axe. Much as he much as he wants to use his great axe, he's going to use his shield and his axe. Run across the stream and just try and hack its leg down like a tree. Bonus action rage.
Okay.
And reckless attack.
Right. Okay. So, Titus, you kind of fly into a rage as this thing, Tarek, and you kind of swing your hand axe down. So that's it.
That is 22.
Yep, that's hits.
Okay. And then D6 plus 6. So 10 damage.
Okay, so you kind of chop into this creature's kind of right flank. You feel the axe kind of bites in through this bark. And you can see like a kind of a sticky, pale yellow sap from the... So that's a hit.
Sick. He's just going to be bellowing at this thing. Obviously, the ancestors are now going to protect everyone.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So these kind of blue spirits kind of start gradually materialize. These Titus's kind of twos start ancestral energy. Nice. Triss.
Am I still within sight of this big bad boy?
That boulder that he's kind of behind is going to shield him. Boy.
Okay, Jason, would you maneuver so I can see where I need to? Sorry. Can I take a couple of steps forwards, like down towards? Not just on the edge of the bank, just so line of sight. I'd produce flame cast, so I'm just gonna throw that, which is 1d8 of damage.
Okay, roll me to hit.
So this is +7.
Wow, Jesus.
1d8.
No, just roll
D20.
to hit. So
roll
yeah,
d20 then the d8.
Yeah. So 8 + 7 is
15.
15?
Yeah.
It hits, so roll me the d8 damage, please.
Nice.
7
Right.
Can live with it.
So you see that this creature, kind of like the fire hits, and you can see that it very quickly kind of swipes down and kind of extinguishes this fire with one mighty limbs.
He does not like that.
Eternally hoping for a stop, drop, and roll, but it's okay.
Okay. On to Yhendorn, who has so far managed to dodge all these.
Yeah, Yhendorn.
Right, I need to move my camera one sec. It's awkward.
Eric, with the strength and constitution checks, bro. Like,
so I'm
killing
gonna
it.
move 2, 3, 5, just like the edge of the stream, so within range of people, but not within range of the big beastie. And what am I gonna do? I'm gonna cast good old spiritual weapon next to it.
Okay. So
level 2.
Yes.
Note that down.
You go on the opposite side here. Heck yeah, dude.
Yep. And that's going to attack straight away. Hang on.
Flanking for sure.
I do constructs get flank bonuses?
Question.
I don't know.
I'd probably assume not.
Quick Google. Do constructs.
Very much.
Get flank bonuses.
5e.
First thing that comes up. The flanking rule. I DMs hate it.
It is pretty OP in 5e.
Well, I mean, to be fair, Crispy, it's up to you, man. Like, I don't. It's up to you.
I think one of the things I'm going to start doing is like for when it is just one creature that you guys are fighting, like it makes sense for it not to be a thing, because otherwise you just get one person.
Yeah.
Right. Just
Yeah.
because then it takes away the point in me doing reckless attack.
Well, exactly. It's like there are so
Yeah.
many ways of gaining advantage in 5e that it's so easy to just stand two people.
I'll just roll normal then.
Okay.
So that is that's a 9.
Okay. And so this kind of mace kind of lashes out, and it kind of like hits this creature, but it seems to even stop. Just you can see that the effect that this mace would usually have on flesh is having much effect on the kind of packed in bark and wood that this creature sees.
Okay. So that was my bonus action because it's a stupidly powerful spell for no reason.
Yep.
So as my regular action, I'll cantrip Sacred Flame. So it needs to take a Dex 15.
15
DC.
Awesome.
So that's 16. So it does save it.
So it saves that as well.
-1 Dex.
-1 Dex, eh?
That's nice to know, though. That's the end of my turn.
Okay. Sure thing. And that brings us to kind of making friends with the crows.
So what, me was it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. So I'm not like tangled up by these crows. I've just got a disadvantage.
Yeah, you can still move. It's just any rolls you make.
Okay. Okay, so I'll do what I do best. I'll move and hop across these rocks to the other side, and then move around. Yeah, I'll move around here next to Torek and drawing my sword, and I'll attack the creature with disadvantage.
So you kind of swing your Jato, and kind of similar to happened with Mace. It kind of almost bounces off this thick bark.
Okay, and not that it's probably worth anything, but I'll also attempt an unarmed strike against it as a bonus action. Oh my god, those twos.
So yeah, so sure enough, your fist makes.
Yeah.
Okay. Torek, back to you.
Cool. I think I'm going to use the. Thanks, Mum. I will use the help action on the creature to try and give Triss advantage on her next attack on it.
Okay.
Awesome.
Ooh.
I'm gonna do it by like lighting up my boomer blade and just spinning it on my gauntlet to illuminate it while yelling at Triss. Good thinking, Triss. They're weak to fire.
Okay.
Can I do
That's
my
sick.
historic perk from that?
Can you use what? Sorry.
Can I use my historic perk? So giving a bonus to her attack as well as the help action.
You wouldn't. There wouldn't be anything historic about.
Oh, okay. I love you.
What?
Okay, so this creature kind of sees Triss cast this kind of fire at him. As he's about to turn and walk over to Triss, but then Torek kind of lights up the boomer blade. Kind of, he sees the fire next to him, and he kind of rages at them. So his action is going to be attack against Torek.
He's a barbarian as well.
So that is going to miss. Ooh.
Yay!
And then as his bonus action, he is going to actually direct the crows to, instead of attacking an area now, they're going to just focus on one target, and that Triss is going to be you. So roll me a dexterity saving throw, please.
Go on, Triss.
Ooh, what was that? 6 plus 3.
So Triss, you kind of see these kind of crows kind of fly off Rula and then kind of come tearing at this river across at you. From your kind of precarious position on the bank, you can't really find your footing in time to get out of their way, and they kind of start pecking and clawing at you, so you take the 2d damage.
2d6 damage?
D4.
D10 damage.
Yeah. So you take 5 damage from these kind of pecking beaks and scratching.
Okay.
Okay. Avalor Titus.
I'll let you do it again, if you like, Jace. Is there any way, in fact, actually, before I do that, is there any way, would Titus be able to see Havel?
I mean, he's probably within your sight if you take a glance around.
I need the tank, though. I need the tank. I want to help, but...
Tank is dank.
I don't know how. I don't know if we'll be able to get anything out. Take an action to shoot and stuff. So it would just have to be a strength saving throw. Oh, strength.
Can he still shoot?
He can still shoot if he wants to, but it will be at disadvantage because we'll kind of tight branches around.
All right. Okay. Oof, I don't know. Do I do a disadvantage shot, or do I try and get out? To be fair, my shot modifier is better than my strength modifier right now, so it's probably worth trying to do that.
Give it a whirl.
Give it a whirl.
Cool.
Why not?
Take
I'm going to use a walloping arrow as well.
Okay.
Oh!
Roll me the hit dice with disadvantage, please.
Disadvantage.
Time to do it.
Let's have a laugh.
Oh!
Still hits.
Oh!
Nice, dude.
Oh, sweet motherfucker. So that is a 20.
Yep, so
22.
it hits.
So it's a D8
Plus
from
9.
me plus 5 plus you have to roll the
For
next.
saving. It's strength, isn't it, for blocking arrows?
Is it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yeah.
let me double check what I've written down.
So 6.
Strength 10 DC.
Strength 10 DC. So 6
So it's
damage.
6 plus.
11.
Yeah, so it's 11 damage,
11 damage, okay.
and
And the strength saving throw.
yeah.
So this arrow kind of hits, kind of explodes. You can see it kind of sends a few splinters flying from the creature and a bit of moss, but it kind of stays rooted to the spot. It's a big beast. It clearly weighs quite a bit.
Just out of interest, Crispy, do the walloping arrows, when they've been used up, do they explode, or can we reuse them?
They explode.
Nah, they explode.
They've
Yeah.
kind of got like a payload on their head.
Okay.
Hence the Rambo.
That's sick, though.
Okay, then I guess Titus.
So he's already raging.
Mm-hmm.
Going to attack, man. He's just going to do another reckless attack just to try and bring this creature down.
Sure.
That's
Hits.
yeah, 22. That's good. D6 plus 6. 12 damage.
12 damage to it.
And as his bonus action, he's going to curse it in Giant.
Mm-hmm. So you can see that the creature doesn't react to your word. You feel better.
Oh.
Okay. Triss. All these crows.
So what's happening? How much bother are they still causing me?
So it'll be kind of the same deal as Ruler had. Now that they're new, they'll be kind of causing disadvantage with any attack.
Okay.
Things, just because it's hard to
the
focus
enemy
with.
for you, so maybe they'll cancel each other out.
So what's that guy?
I used a help action to give her advantage on her next attack, so would they cancel out?
That is true. You did use your help, so that would cancel. So yes, you would be rolling historic beacon axes kind of.
All right, cool. I'm just gonna cast Produce Flame again and throw it at it.
Sure, roll me a hit dice, please.
Wait, we are rolling just.
Yeah, so this is plus 7.
Okay.
11.
11. Thanks. 11.
So you kind of produce this flame and you kind of cast it out, and as it goes, it kind of inadvertently hits one of these crows that then kind of falls into the river and is kind of swept downstream. But the creature remains.
Sorry, little crow.
Shit, little hunting. Nothing wrong with that.
Dinner, anybody? I've got a bonus action as well. I'm gonna lob a dagger at it for the sake of it.
For your second hand. Okay,
Yeah.
so roll me with just a
What that?
D20 to hit.
Okay.
So again, this dagger kind of whirls across the river.
Oh my god.
Robo Pascal.
You kind of see this dagger stick into this creature with it wedge very far in.
Cool. Dagger.
Cool.
At least they didn't get swept away with the crow.
True.
Yeah, we could have lost it.
That later, I guess.
Shit's expensive, dude.
Back to you.
Back to Yhendorn, was that?
It was.
I wouldn't have like holy water as part of my sort of.
Do you have a priest's kit?
We can probably find out on.
I'm pretty sure. I mean, as a cleric, Wait.
I did have it, but it was part of like a Monster Hunter's kit.
I don't think I've got a priest's kit, surprisingly.
I actually looked at the basic rules as well. It's not cheap to make. You've got to do 50 silver's worth of silver.
It doesn't look like you've got any holy water on you.
Oh, okay.
It doesn't.
In that case, I will just use, first of all, my bonus action attack with the spiritual weapon.
Okay.
6. So that's a 13.
Miss.
Oh.
Again, the spiritual weapon kind of hits. Just like a knock, like something on it.
Whipping. So my action, I'll use the level 1 spell, Guiding Bolt. Oh, is that right, Jason?
Sorry, ignore that. I accidentally clicked as I was moving.
Guiding Bolt. Okay.
Yeah, so I said Guiding Bolt because it requires
Such a
abilities.
powerful spell.
What does it do?
Oh, it hits. That's what it does. That's a 22.
Yep, that hits.
So, Guiding Bolt. I should probably check what damage it does. Oh, I had it there. On a hit, the target takes 4d6 radiant damage. Nice.
What?
46 what damage, sorry?
Radiant.
Radiant damage.
That's
okay.
15 radiant.
Oh!
And
it wasn't for that.
And now the guiding part of the spell is the next attack roll made against this target has advantage.
I think you cut out the good part. I think has
Advantage.
Holy shit, Rich! Jesus.
That's pretty good.
Is that your next attack or any attack?
Anyone's next attack.
Oh, okay.
And I'm gonna move. Different perspective. Hang on. I'm gonna move up here.
Which means rule.
Just so I'm not kind of in AoE range of Havel over there.
Right.
Ah, cheers, mate. In AoE range of Titus instead now.
Yeah, cool.
That's okay. I can take it.
It's the end of my turn.
Just drops it around.
Okay,
yeah.
The crows no more harassing you.
Excellent. Yep, Ruler will still with sword drawn and make another attack with a sword, this time with advantage thanks to Guiding Bolt.
Right.
Let's do it.
You're welcome.
Yep, that's +6 as well to hit. 20.
Okay, so with the help of this Guiding Bolt, your sword strikes true, and you see it cut into the heartwood under.
Nice. D6 +4. 7.
7 damage to it.
And then predict what's coming next. I will spend a key point to do Flurry of Blows and make 2 unarmed attacks.
Sure.
So I don't get an advantage on these now, do I?
No.
It's just the first attack. Okay. How's it you want to do them? So do them both at the same time or one at a time?
Okay.
Yep. That's +6 to both.
12 and 14.
So 1 hit.
Okay. And D4 +4.
So 5 damage to it.
And I will force it to make a dex throw or get knocked prone.
Ooh.
Okay. What's the DC?
13.
I don't know, it's really annoying.
Oof.
Okay, so you kind of strike this creature with your fist, and it kind of notices prone. It's quite a kind of hefty creature to push.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's more like a kicking it in the back of the leg, trying to force it
Back of
down
the knee.
under its own weight, kind of thing. Yeah.
Find the weak point, yeah.
Okay, Torek, back to you.
Sick, dude. That 40 blows.
Yeah.
I will cast Shocking Grasp against it.
Sure. So, is that, remind me, to hit or just a dex?
It's to hit. It's I've got to actually hit it first. So it'll be a +6 to this roll. Oh no! Oh no! Oh no!
Okay, Torek, you reach up to this thing to try and grab it. Shocking grasp. It kind of grabs your arm and just hurls you across the stream into this rock. So,
Ancestral Guardians?
Yeah, Ancestral Guardians. Okay, tell you what, I'll make it a saving throw. Ancestral Guardians. Torek, give me a dexterity saving throw.
Okay. Oh,
Okay.
That's 19.
That's 19. So he reaches down to grab you, and he connects a little bit, but you manage to wriggle your way through, but not before he manages to his kind of claws leave a kind of deep gash in your arm. So you can take D6 damage from partial.
Still good.
But it's better than the alternative. Yeah, well, there you go.
Better getting. Oh, yes. Better get thrown across.
Yeeted across the river. Exactly.
Into a rock.
And I think that's me done for now.
Okay. So the question now, he sees that you guys are all here, so he kind of reaches down to the earth and he casts Entangle again, centered on you three. So Titus, Torek, and Rulin all give me a strength saving. Havel, you feel these vines kind of release you.
Ooh, not as good as
Oh!
Yeah, no.
Oh dear.
That's a 9.
So, Titus and Rulin, you guys are kind of gripped by these thick kind of bits of undergrowth shooting away from you. Torek, you kind of managed to rip these things apart with your bare hands as they come up to you.
I think I found another use for the boomer blade.
Titus is blown away by Torek's strength.
He is then going to actually move, disengage. So everybody here, a action. Titus and Rulin with disadvantage because you're restrained.
Right.
I mean, he's going to stand in the river and get close to Triss.
That's
Ooh, I don't like
13.
that.
13 for me.
So
15
Titus, you
for me.
hit. Rulin, you hit, and Torek, you hit.
Lovely. I'll,
Shit.
So what's it, 7?
7.
That'll be 6 damage from me.
Good job, guys.
Okay, so 13 damage to the creature. And it's kind of crossing the room. So Havel, you've been released from your vines, and these guys have been kind of grappled. And now he's next to you, Triss. He's used his action for a tangle, but he's going to keep these crows attacking you. So roll me a dex saving throw, please.
+3, so 6.
The crows, I mean, you've barely had time to catch your breath from these things, and they keep up their assault. 5 damage.
Oh, God.
We have to save Triss, guys. This is
He's clearly not taking.
We gotta help.
We gotta.
I could cast Mirror Image.
Mirror
Or I
image?
could try like Dissonant Whispers and try and get him to fuck off. I just don't know which is best.
Well, Havel or Titus, it's one of your goes.
You go, Havel. I'm grappled now, so you go ahead, mate.
Okay. I think about this. So how many crows are there still about?
So around Triss for probably just under.
Oh, you just broke up for me. Sorry.
About just under 30, kind of swarming around her. So between that and this rock, it would be quite a tricky shot where you're stood.
From where I'm stood, I'm just wondering. I mean, it's gonna sound weird, but if a walloping arrow has an explosive payload at the end, into a flock.
Into a flock.
What would that be? A potential knocking a few out of the sky?
Potentially.
I love Crispy's the best DM, dude. Crispy's like, you can fucking try. Like,
who am I to tell you not to waste your time? Yeah.
That was the result of me dumping a flask of holy water over that dog, and it just became a wet dog.
You know what? I like my idea, so I'm going to 1, 3, 4, 5. So wait, 4, 5. I'd kind of be there. Would that be enough, do you reckon, to catch a flock?
Oh, well, you could take a shot at them. I mean, they're flying around, swarming.
I know. Well, it's a swarm, so I'm hoping I hit summit. I just meant like this rock's not going to be in the way too much, is it?
No. So yeah, sure, Ron. Hit this, please.
That is a 28.
So sure enough, you kind of knock this arrow and you fire it off, taking aim not at the flock exactly, but at a lone bird that you've singled out. And you knock it, and kind of you see the arrow connects kind of with its rib cage, and this kind of explodes. And the flock seems to kind of like the shrapnel from this arrow seems to knock about 6 or 7 of these crows down out of the sky, and the flock kind of momentarily dissipates from Triss.
Sick, dude.
That's how you do it.
Nice.
And then that'll be me. Done.
Okay. Nicely done. Titus.
Titus does not like these grabby trees.
Be right back.
He has to get a hit in this turn. So would I be able to de-grapple myself and get into combat and hit, or is that not an option?
De-grappling yourself would be an action.
Is an action. Okay, I'm going to, in that case, he's going to take out one of his javelins that he keeps behind his shield.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, no, fuck it. It's way cooler if he throws one of the axes, isn't it?
And probably, going to be more likely what he'd do in the heat of the moment.
That is more Titus. Yeah, he's just going to, as these things grab him, he's just going to chuck his axe at this thing.
Okay.
Reckless, so it is just going to be normal.
Just be a normal throw, yep.
Yeah. Come on. Get in!
So, Titus, the kind of the vines are gripping you quite tightly, but you kind of manage to wrest your right arm free long enough to hurl this axe in. And it kind of lodges itself in this creature's back. So, roll me damage.
9 damage.
9 damage, but importantly, you keep Ancestral Guard.
Yep, that was exactly what I was thinking, man.
Okay. A hand axe now.
It's so hard to keep that going every turn, dude.
Yeah. It's kind of a high reward, but requires a lot of keep.
Yeah.
So this thing's now kind of looming over Triss with a dagger sticking out one side and an axe out of the other. So we're into Triss's turn. So you've been cleared of this flock by kind of Havel's expert shot.
Okay. I'm gonna cast image, illusory duplicates of yourself appear in your space. They move with your mimic reactions. Every time a creature attacks you during the spell's duration, you roll a d20 to determine whether the attack hits one of the duplicates.
Okay, sure. So you kind of whisper a few words, and these kind of illusions appear alongside you. And what are you? Is that gonna be it? Is there anything else you'd like to do?
I've actually still got a. Oh, actually, Jace, would you zoom out a little bit? I might try moving around the rock. Yeah, I'm gonna try moving around the rock, sort of between Havel and who is it on the side? I said move around the rock, not move the rock.
Just Chris just lifts this thing over her head.
Titus is astounded by her magical power.
Titus is no longer interested in Yhendorn.
You are no heel tooth now.
Rock lady.
Okay.
This is why we don't trust Jason.
Yeah, sort of. You know the little drawn rock? I kind of want to be about there.
So you want to try and get the
Yeah, about there.
So
want that rock between me.
He's going to make a attack opportunity on you at disadvantage because of the ancestral guardian.
Do I also? So I now also.
So we need to
roll a
see if it hits
D20.
first. That's going to
Oh,
be
right, okay.
under your AC. So he swipes and it. The kind of a blue
nice.
ancestral guardian kind of grabs its arm just before it connects, and you have time to get out.
Worth an axe, dude. Worth an axe.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Okie dokie. Good teamwork.
Sick.
Yhendorn.
Right. Oh god. Right. So my camera situation annoys me every time. This I can move as a bonus action. This up to I think 20 feet actually. Let me double check.
That should still be enough.
20 feet.
It's only 15 feet away.
Okay. Yeah. Cool. And I can still attack with it. So if I go back here, and if I go back here, yeah. That's a 25. So this does.
Hit.
Bloody hell.
That's 9 damage.
So this time, as the mace comes down, you see that it's, kind of like one of the spikes is actually bitten in this time and just doing some kind of concussion. Kind of hear it grunt a little.
Nice. And as my action, I'm going to ask the creature to make a DC 15 Constitution saving throw.
He politely declined.
Excuse me, Mr. Leshton, would you kindly?
Sorry, what are you spell using?
This is blindness / deafness.
Okay, so Constitution saving throw DC 14.
15.
15. Does get a pretty hefty bonus for us. But not hefty enough.
So I inflict blindness on this thing.
Okay.
Which is it lasts for a minute and it's not concentration. But it can, at the end of its turn, it can make a saving throw to try and remove the spell.
That's amazing, dude.
Good.
So it's blind, so attacks against it have advantage, attacks it makes have disadvantage, and it automatically fails any ability check that requires sight.
Okay.
Whoa. So how do you just blast it with light then?
No, it's just a vocal thing. So let's think how this flavors. So I kind of mutter under my breath, and the green sort of mist you've become accustomed to sort of like seeps out of its eye sockets and starts to surround its eyes, and it can't see through the green mist.
That's fucking sick.
Okay.
Oh man, I love that the battlefield. By the way, we've got Triss's red fire going off, the blue ancestral guardians and the green healing shit going down. That's so sick.
This battlefield light is kind of like RGB than Neckbeard's base.
That's the end of my turn. No movement.
Okay, very cool. And that moves us down to Rulin. Still battling these weeds.
Okay. So is it? Is it just a straight up strength saving throw to try and pull myself out?
It is, yes.
Yeah. Okay. I haven't got much choice really. I'll just have to give it a try. +2. 16.
You managed to break free.
Nice. So was that the action as well?
That is your action, yes.
Okay. Can't really do anything as a bonus action now then. No. Okay, I'll move up a little bit closer just to here.
Okay.
And prepare myself. Take a deep breath.
Sure. Brings us back round to Torek.
Right. I think I'm going to try and head behind the beast, spreading out from the group, coming around this way.
Okay.
And I'm going to see how it reacts to poison damage. I'm going to load a glass a glass vial that seems to have been molded into the rough shape of an arrow into my crossbow and fire it at it, casting Ray of Sickness.
Sick.
Okay, so the roll me the dice.
What do you move to, guy?
I'm gonna move me 5 spaces this way. I can't see the spaces.
Oh, sorry, Cushy. Sorry.
5.
I roll this dice and add 6. 15? Oh.
I love that everything's an experiment to you, guy.
Yeah.
So sick.
2d8 poison damage. 7 poison damage.
Okay, so the kind of arrow splashes against this creature, and you see that it doesn't really react at all. It seems at this point it hasn't had an effect.
Dang.
Well, hey, it's all data to you.
Yes. I'll write it down, if I remember it, in my notebook. No notebooks in combat. We learnt this.
Okay, so this creature kind of like stops. It's obviously not been able to hit Triss as it, and she's run and with this blind. He kind of raises his hand and kind of the crows start circling around its head for a bit, and then he kind of gestures forward, and he's going to cast it again in the area, so it'll be affecting Titus and Yhendorn. So, Dex saving throw, Titus, with disadvantage because you are still entangled.
Now, Titus normally gets advantage on dexterity saving throws from sources he
in which
can
case
see.
it will cancel it out. Just roll.
Just do regular. Get in,
What's
dude.
my dex? Plus
that for
1.
Titus is a 19.
Okay, so
what did I roll? Sorry, mine's +1.
Did you roll?
You rolled 14, I think.
14. Okay, so Yhendorn, you do not make that save. So these crows kind of start harassing you. There are less of them, so you're only going to take the D4 tables, thinned out the flock a bit.
That was a great idea, Jace.
But it is 4 damage all the same.
Okay.
And now you see that this creature seems to be reacting to the fact that these crows are kind of seeing you two. He ignores everybody else and he makes a beeline to you two.
Fuck.
And he is going to swing at Yhendorn again. Seeing as a disadvantage because of that.
Yeah.
So that's still going to be a miss. He swings, but he doesn't connect it. Honestly, homebrew it can't hit shit.
At the end of his turn, he gets a Constitution saving throw to get rid of blindness.
That is true. Still blind, so he can only see now the crows are looking for.
Yeah.
The others, he's kind of out of sight. Okay, so
that's cool. So he can see through the crows then.
Titus and Havel. So you pick who go once.
Go ahead, Jace.
I will. Suppose. So he's facing Titus and Yhendorn.
Yes, he is.
So I'm going to move around the back of him here, on the edge of the embankment, and take a sweet little shot.
Cool, roll me the dice.
Are you doing walloping again?
I've only got 2 left, so I'm going to save them for now. Let's go for a bit of damage. And we're looking at a 21.
Hits. Wait, 9?
And...
Oh, of course, archery, isn't
it? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's disgusting.
That always gets me.
It's so powerful.
8 damage.
8 damage as well. Okay.
That +9 to hit is insane.
It's pretty nice.
For a level 4 character as well.
Mad,
just need a better bow.
That's it. If he gets a +1 bow or something, it'd be 10.
Fuck me.
Okay, so the arrow kind of lodges into the back, but it doesn't seem to do too much damage. Okay. Any bonus actions? Alrighty then, I guess.
Bonus action to speak like a robot.
He's gonna
No.
So Titus is gonna take out his second-hand axe. Man, it is kind of nice that he has 2, because then he gets to take the other one back. Maybe he shouldn't give them away. Somebody tell him he shouldn't do that. And he's gonna try and, with his bonus action, he is gonna try and get the attention of this beast. It's gone for everybody but him. He's trying to just get this thing to look at him.
Roll me an intimidation.
Okay. That is flat 11.
Flat 11. So the creature kind of notices you kind of bellow at it in giant. He kind of looks away from Yhendorn to you.
Good. I'm gonna reckless attack.
Sure thing. You just flat dice because you're grappled still.
Oh, yep. Sorry. I'll just ignore these. Sorry, guys.
Hits.
Okay. So just D6 plus 6. I missed that D12, man. Still 11 damage.
Okay, so again, you kind of swing your axe at this creature and you thud as it lands. Alrighty. Triss.
So I'm gonna cast Dissonant Whispers. Do I need to be within viewing range of that?
Dissonant Whispers.
Within range can hear, so within 60 foot.
Let's see. Doesn't actually say you have to be within sight of. You would know it was there, I guess, and seeing as it's a psychic ability, I'm guessing kind of its presence.
Yeah. Also, he's
That's
pretty
perfect.
tall. Even if that box
He is
is big,
quite
I would
tall.
imagine.
Yeah,
maybe-
go on.
All right. Yeah. So I'm gonna cast.
15 DC Wisdom.
Yeah. Do I need to do anything?
Not yet. No. Oof.
Ooh.
So yeah, he takes 3d6 3d6 then.
Nice.
Please.
3d6 psychic damage. When you cast a spell using a spell slot of 7 or higher, the damage increases by d6.
Of
for
course,
each
yep,
slot.
level 2 spell, so 4d6.
So it's 4.
Ooh, the potential.
Nice.
Right,
A
one
lot of
second.
damage.
Wait,
40,
am
that
I-
could be 24 damage.
Nice.
That's big.
13
Above
damage.
average.
Okay, so this kind of creature,
And then
Triss,
he has to move away as well.
yeah, you hear these whispers too. You don't know what language it's, and you don't know what words mean.
You broke up then, Crispy. What did you say?
Oh, saying Triss hears this. Everybody else doesn't. But
What
you
do I
don't-
hear? Sorry.
These whispers. You don't know the
Okay.
language, and you don't know what the words mean, who's saying them. So you kind of get the impression that the creature, on the other hand, kind of is clearly uses his reaction to kind of move. Okay.
Mm.
10, 20.
Holy shit.
He goes back into the now Yhendorn and Titus both roll me hit attack of opportunity at disadvantage.
If he moved through my melee range, would I get it?
Technically,
Actually, yeah,
right?
he was. Yeah, because he left in.
Oh, I fucking missed.
You got a nat 1 as well.
Isn't
So
mine
Titus-
with advantage because of blindness?
No, because he's still seeing you. With those.
Oh, okay.
They're harassing you, so
So
it's
is mine
just
just regular?
disadvantage.
Okay.
Just because of crows.
So would I gain advantage because of the blindness?
Yes, actually,
Damn it.
you and Tarek would. So 2 nat.
Oh, we both nat ones. Oh.
Oh god, that's not much better.
Okay, so it's 2 misses, nat 1 miss, and Tarek reaction throw with reaction attack with advantage.
What about the spirit mace?
It can't have
Yeah, with advantage.
reactions because it's a construct.
No, none of these.
Oh, that's
Actually, wait,
terrible.
no, not plus 9 plus 9 plus. What's your modifier for that?
+6.
Okay, so Tarek hits. So roll me damage with you.
This +4.
Oh god. Oh my god, the opportunities of damage there that have just been completely
dude,
missed.
Now, Tarek and Yhendorn, as this creature kind of turns and flees, its kind of colossal bulk kind of bludgeons you guys. So roll me both of you a dexterity saving throw, both with disadvantage.
Oh god.
Okay.
Did you say
Right now, I'm assuming I don't get the regular advantage that I would normally from seeing it.
Did you say?
So, it's a 3. I failed.
Once
That's
again, Rich
17.
save throws that I keep on trying to get. Titus, however, you kind of don't manage to get out of the way, and as this creature kind of makes its way at kind of this expeditious retreat, you kind of get bludgeoned by its kind of limbs. So you're going to take a d12 in bludgeoning, but you are raged.
Can I try and grab on?
Yeah, sure. So it's going to take plus its strength, actually, isn't it? So you're going to take 4 damage there.
Okay.
And yes, roll me a strength check to. For athletics, probably, rather than just a flat strength.
Okay. Well, that is a 25.
So you kind of grab onto this creature's kind of bark on its back. In fact, no, you grab onto the handle of the hand axe that's stuck in it.
Huh.
And as it pulls you out, as it kind of moves off, it pulls you out of the entanglement and kind of drags you right.
What I'm talking about.
Okay, cool. Pretty eventful turn for Triss there. Yhendorn, you're up.
So I've got crows all flying around me. First of all, I'll bonus action this movement. Put it over there. And it's going to attack.
Wait, where was that? Up here? Yeah, okay.
Yeah. 14.
Hits.
Nice. Oh, actually, I get advantage because of blindness. Just in case it's a 20.
I don't know what that would count because it's your construct. It's not you, so I guess the crows wouldn't see it. So, well, I mean, it hits anyway. So
yeah, okay. I was just thinking in case it was a 20. We're rolling this. So that's 7 damage.
7 damage. Okay.
Movement. So I'm going to move over. You said it's about a 5-foot jump. Is that? Would I need to roll for
that? With the crows, probably because.
Oh yeah.
So instead of getting over automatically, I'll just have you.
Okay.
Get over.
Well,
or in athletics, you can take your pick because you can.
I'll roll acrobatics. Can I roll? Hello?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Just because athletics is -1 and acrobatics is +1. Ah. Yes. That's a 4.
Okay, so
you were saying
as you land, you kind of slip up and you kind of feel your ankle twist under you. Yhendorn, you're going to have 10 foot less movement speed the remainder of this fight because you twisted your ankle.
Okay.
Ooh.
Can I continue to move?
Yeah. Up to
so 5,
20 foot
10,
total.
15. I'll get to there.
Oh, you're a half elf, aren't you? Do they get the +5 for elf scale?
No, I just get 30.
Okay. So 20 is now.
Yeah. And I'm going to fire my trusty crossbow.
Sure.
At the thing. I've still got crows around me, right?
Cancels out the crows.
Yeah,
yeah.
Oh! Oh no!
Okay, so you fire this bow, and you kind of land it straight into back as he's being dragged along.
That's why I said that. I knew the second he rolled a 1, what was going to fucking happen.
This is either that or a snap.
Sorry, this is going to be an 8 now. Just watch. Oh, that's 5 damage.
So Titus,
rounding up or down?
I'm rounding up because this lesson has underperformed, and I want I'll take 3 damage.
1, 2, 3, 5.
Honestly, hasn't hit one of the attacks.
Oh.
So, I mean, the betrayal hurts more than the bolt, but still.
Oh no, no. That's the end of my turn.
Okay, Ruin.
Okay. Rulin's going to quickly give chase. And as he runs towards the Leshen, he feels the crossbow bolt whiz past his ear and hits Titus in the back. He's a bit confused. But yeah, he'll run straight up. And obviously, you're seeing the Leshen trying to run and Titus struggling, clinging onto its back. Rulin's going to make a specific attempt to attack at its legs to try and bring it down.
Okay, roll the attack.
Okay. Blinded still?
Yes, it is.
Advantage.
Hits.
22. D6 with this sword. That'll be 8 damage.
Uh-huh. Okay.
And fuck it, why not? Spending a key point to do 2 unarmed strikes.
Sure.
Uh,
Advantage against.
yeah.
rolls efforts.
Yep.
Hits. The second one.
$15.
Hits. So 2 hits from it. Damage.
Oh, nice.
That'll be 12.
Okay, so as you kind of land punches, you can start to feel this wood start to splinter under your fist. I mean, you've broken boards in your training. This is obviously a step up from that. Same principle, right?
Yeah, sure.
Nice.
Identifying a weak spot and breaking
Just
through it.
hammering home. Sure. Okay, Torek, you're up.
That's a good round for Rule.
Yeah, good job, dude. That was sick.
Now, I don't want this thing to disappear without a trace. So I think I'm going to cast Fairy Fire on it to imbue it with light and give advantage to attacks against it, but also being able to see it if it continues to run away.
Okay. So that's a dexterity saving throw.
Yes, it is.
Oh, shit. I didn't do my special effects from the Flurry of Blows. Oh.
Go on.
So a dex saving throw, or it gets knocked prone. So that's a DC 13.
Okay, so it stays on its feet, but the fairy fire kind of lights it up.
Nice.
So,
Nowhere to run.
Okay, so kind of seeing this kind of brutal attack on it, he turns around and he's going to kind of make a ditch attempt to kind of do some hurt to get you guys off of it. So he's going to attack Titus and some. So against Titus.
Shit. Titus still lodged to its back.
Yeah,
I mean, I imagine I probably fell off. He could still hit me.
Okay, so it hits Titus.
Is Titus still got crows around him?
I mean,
but I did.
Yeah,
I did reckless.
That's the thing. He's got reckless attacks. So,
yeah, so it's advantage for
2d8 against Titus. 2d8 plus 5.
2d8 plus 5.
So that's 12. So 6 damage to. This is why I really wanted some of them to actually hit.
Holy, yeah, that's stung.
And then against Ruben, it's going to be disadvantage.
He's had a lot of entanglements and what have you, but not a lot of actual hits.
Yeah.
So that's plus 7. So that is going to hit. That's only just broken your arm. Hit 2d8 plus 5. So 19 damage is.
Oh my god!
That's pretty devastating.
I'm gonna just try and get in the way of Rulen.
Down to 12.
Oh.
Okay, so Titus or
kill this thing. Seeing Rulen hit, Titus is like really pissed off actually.
Oh, Crispy, Constitution saving for blindness.
Oh, the blindness, yes, of course.
Oh yeah, good point.
He's got a huge boost to Constitution, but I'm just not rolling anything.
Titus is pissed. He's gonna drop the shield and his axe and take out the axe that he freed himself with.
Okay.
And he's gonna Rulen is that blow nearly killed him, so he's gonna reckless attack.
Okay. Give it dice.
That is 22.
Yep, hits.
It's a D12 plus 6.
Nice.
It's 11 damage.
Okay, so this axe kind of bites quite deep. But it's still going. It's kind of got a few notches and grooves in it. It looks like you can see that this kind of is made of is really quite chips. But he's still.
As my bonus action, stand in between Rulon and the creature.
Okay, sure. Right, so
with no shield.
Yeah, with no shield. So I will take your action.
You're on mute, Jason.
Jason.
Yep, he is in fact muted.
Yeah, I am. I'm glad Richard knew that I'm an idiot. Right, so this stream, how easy is it to cross? Would it slow me down, or?
Well, that's the wider part of it. That would kind of.
Just figured of going this way.
That would require a roll. You could use athletics to just try and jump it, or acrobatics. A bit of wood and then cross.
Let's see what my acrobatics is, because I want to get into a.
Yeah,
that's what I'm thinking.
Okay, roll me that dice, please.
Oh man. So acrobatics is +5, so it would only be an 8.
Okay, so as you kind of stroll along this branch, you don't see some kind of very slippy moss in the growing darkness, and you kind of fall head first into this river. So you're now going to be prone, and also now your bowstring is now wet.
Oh
so,
God!
Every time you fire your bow now, you're going to roll a d20. 5 or below, the string snaps.
Oh, shit!
But yes, you're now kind of knocked prone and
right. Okay.
On the bank of this river, you've kind of made it across, but you're sopping wet.
Sopping wet. I'm prone. I'm here. Sick. Amazing. There's not really much I can do now, is there? I'm going to throw it to next turn.
You could still shoot.
Yeah, you could still stand up and shoot.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure being prone would leave me there.
It just takes half your movement to stand up.
All right. So that was
that's
1, 2.
That's not very far.
So I could still move another 1. If I stand up, can I dash an attack, or does a dash take up my action?
Dash is taking.
Dash is your action.
Yeah, I thought so, because I'm going to be.
Okay. I mean, from here you do have
here,
a lot of trees and guys in the way.
Exactly.
Yeah, I don't think you'd have side.
Yeah, so I'm going to have to risk it for the biscuit. I'm going to dash. So kind of here, this little clearing.
Mm-hmm.
So I have a better line of sight for next round.
Sure.
Okay, and I'm done.
Triss, you're up.
Go on, Triss.
Okay, let me just get in and have a look and see where we're at. Oh God, Jesus Christ. Just need to see where I need to move to. That should be side. Oh. So whatever happens, I'm going to have to go through people, aren't I?
Yeah, you've got a lot of allies in the way, and it's a reasonably far shot.
Yeah. How much movement do I have?
You'll have 30 unless you have any, which I don't think you do.
Okay. How many squares?
So that'll be 6 squares.
6 squares. So 1, 2. There's nowhere to move where there isn't someone. It's my own fault. Okay. And yeah, I'm just gonna 1, 2, 3, 4. From here, I can probably just about see, right?
Yeah, you'll be able to see him from there, and it's only the
Yeah.
shortest bit of the river, so it's too far to just hop across. So
Yeah. Okay. And I'm going to cast good old Eldritch Blast.
Eldritch Blast it is. Roll me the dice. With
Am I
advantage.
at
Very far.
disadvantage?
Advantage.
What,
is
sorry?
very far.
Yes, my fairy fire is giving you advantage.
Oh, pussy's blind.
So hits. Eldritch Blast does indeed hit.
Okay, so 1d10. Oh god, which one's d10 again?
The one before? That one, isn't it?
Is it the second to last one or the third from last?
Third from last, isn't it?
If you go to the middle, it's to the right of the middle.
Okay, cool. Thanks.
Yeah, that one.
So that's 6 plus 5. Stats 11.
So Triss, as this Eldritch Blast, he is.
Whoa!
Jace, can you
I can't
move?
hear anything.
Oh.
What, sorry?
Never mind. As this Eldritch Blast kind of sears across the battlefield, and kind of leaving its signature streak of kind of sauteed air, you see it kind of impact this creature kind of in the chest, and it kind of splinters through. You can see that like the kind of wood that kind of makes up this creature is seemingly getting sucked into this little abyss where this Eldritch Blast. And you kind of see this creature kind of get ripped apart, and it kind of collapses onto its knees and then falls over backwards. This kind of hole in its chest.
What the fuck?
Get in, Pascal!
Holy shit!
Well
Should
done.
have done some more of that, huh?
You have defeated this creature.
Yes!
Nice.
It just lets out a massive scream as the beast falls down.
Okay, so as it falls, you can see that like its frame is largely kind of, almost like a tree, as you kind of notice while you're fighting. However, the elk skull on its head, on closer examination, has some very finely carved sigils in it of what you guess would be a magical nature.
I could study those if no one else has got a better idea.
I could assist.
Could we do like a check on it of some kind? Arcana check, is it?
Does anybody here speak Silver?
I don't.
That's funny.
No. Oh, I do actually. Yes.
Jason does, I think.
Yhendorn speaks
Yeah,
Silver.
Jason Yhendorn, yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
So actually, this would make sense for Havel.
Nice.
Wow.
Oh. Oh.
So, Havel, roll me the kind of a Arcana check, because you'd know
At advantage, you said.
at advantage.
Yeah, because it's a known language.
Okay, so whilst you kind of know Sylvan, you look at these marks and you see that the dialect is not one you're familiar with, but the kind of the alphabet is similar for the most part. This was probably a creature that had some deep affinity with.
What, sorry?
Did I break up there?
Yeah.
Or?
Yeah, I think you need to turn up your sensitivity, Christy, because when whenever it's quiet, we lose you for a sec.
Let me see what I can do. I can't figure that out. I'll do it later. But what I was saying was that this creature, the kind of the marks are in what appears to be a different dialect of Sylvan, not one Havel recognizes. But you could probably tell that this creature has like a deep kind of connection with these woods. And it's you would realize that these are kind of the same markings that you found on the effigies you previously saw.
Awesome.
Okay, so
Titus turns in the quiet after the battle. Titus turns to Triss, and as the fire of the Eldritch Blast is leaking out of the creature, he goes, Triss, I will now call you Fire Tooth.
As long
I don't think we got any of that.
Nope.
Yeah, sorry. What did you say, Pascal? I couldn't hear you.
I said as long as there's no high fives, it's all good by me.
Oh, that's good.
Harold, you notice that as this creature dies, the crows seem to kind of just dissipate. It seems that the magic that was kind of binding them, this creature's service, has died with it. But yes, you go back to your unattended campfire that, due to some miracle, hasn't been down the forest. But the the forest seems slightly less ominous now. This thing is dead.
Would it?
So,
Sorry.
I was going to say, so are we looking at safe enough to rest for the night now? Lack of crows, lack of lesson.
Well, you'd hesitate to call these backwater woods safe, but they're probably no more dangerous than anywhere else.
Well, at least get a rest underway, surely.
Okay.
So, that's what I'm going to do.
So you guys kind of return to your camp. You kind of get your heads down. So everybody have a long rest.
Perfect.
Cool.
So the night passes uneventfully. It seems that Leshen territory it's kept other things out of. So nothing harasses you in the night when you sleep.
Potion time. It's potion. Actually, no. I think maybe I'll keep my potions from yesterday. I've still got an idea with one of them.
Don't they disappear?
Expire.
Yeah.
You'd have to roll again
Do
for
they
them.
disappear? Oh,
Yep.
man. Okay.
Otherwise, you just have an endless stock from downtime. Wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Just like just come back from like a month's holiday.
No, I just thought every time you rolled, the old ones disappear.
I think it's every time you take a long rest.
Okay, cool. Do you mind?
So,
Yeah, roll again for me.
and Triss will have had a chance to recover her dagger and.
Yeah, so you guys, this corpse would have been easy for you to extract your weapons from.
Thank goodness.
Titus, I believe one of my crossbow bolts is lodged in your back. May I recover it, please?
It is lodged away.
Titus, look over there.
As Yhendorn tries to walk around Titus, he turns to face Yhendorn because he's having a conversation with him. He doesn't want to be rude.
Sorry,
So,
you get me some blue flowers, red thorns.
Blue flower, red thorn.
Oh, Titus, look, a bear! And I point behind him.
No!
And I grab the crossbow bolt out of his back.
Dexterity save for and grab it.
No!
Okay, so you quite expertly snatch this bolt out, and kind of the motion of Titus turning around is kind of enough to yank it out.
My back feels great.
I like acupuncture.
You are good, heel tooth.
Well, I do have your back, as they say.
Okay, so you guys gotta wake up in the morning and set off, and you manage to kind of eventfully make your way to the village of Ruling, where we will leave it for tonight. Well done, guys. You kind of tore through that lesson, even with its resistance to non-magical weapons.
Wow.
I had like the complete opposite of rolls to last week, but it's fine.
Yeah. Don't worry. Thankfully for you guys, it had even worse roll. That was
Yeah.
abysmal.
Yeah, dude, it was
Did you
just
take into
crazy to me that.
My weapon's magical.
Sorry?
Did you take into account that my weapon's magical?
Yes, don't worry. Don't worry.
Just out of curiosity, what was its constitution bonus?
+4.
And it failed all those.
And it failed 3, yeah.
I mean, it's because it's not Titus Brown tough, but it's tough.
Tough.
Yeah, man.
It's tough with only 1 F.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah, so well done, you guys. Fight. Well, it should have been a tough fight. You guys did well. Some good teamwork and tactics. So
That's fantastic. And I do think that like that flanking isn't a thing when it's a single monster. Like if it's if it was just like a guard or a kobold or a whatever, we should get flanking on them. But for like a big guy, I don't think flanking.
Yeah, it's
having advantage is OP.
Because like with multiple enemies, then I can see the tactics being used to get advantage. Is applicable than like, oh, we're just gonna fucking
yeah, because otherwise, like, why would I cast blindness? Why would Torek use fairy fire?
And that's the thing, it's like, here are all these really cool ways of getting advantage, and we're going to completely ignore it by using easy.
Yeah, guiding bolt, all that stuff would have been pointless.
There's nothing like Titus. There's nothing like Titus not doing reckless attack. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, I'm gonna take it easy because Yhendorn's the other side of it.
Yeah.
So we have.
It's a bit silly, and I don't really